socks are wet. I'm not happy about that. How's it going? Yeah, you're good? You don't look so happy. Me neither. Me neither. Look at this guy here behind me. Alright, 4 hours are gone. I'm gonna go home and make a tutorial or something. So, you know, I want to create something today for my channel. How are you doing there? I'm gonna leave now. And we're back from a horrible day of fishing, but we're gonna make something good out of it. I'm gonna make a nice video about the essentials for pike fishing, all the material you need. Now, I've been doing my research around YouTube, and what I realized is that there is a lot of material on the rods and on the reels and even about the landing nets, but there is just not so much material about the essentials you need to take when you're pike fishing. And I think that's quite important to know, especially if you're a beginner, but also if you're not. So I'm going to divide my video today into 3 different categories. One is the absolute must-have when you go pike fishing. Don't leave the house without them. Secondly, there's going to be things that are really nice to have, and there's quite a bunch of those. And lastly, as a bonus, I'll give you a couple of items that you just don't need to take with you when you're pike fishing. Never. So let's start. We're gonna try to keep it short. Yeah. So first thing, I know it's really trivial. You need to get yourself a good fishing bag. What's a good fishing bag? Something that is comfortable to carry, something that has enough compartments, strong bag. If it can be waterproof, even better, you know, raining and all that kind of stuff like I had today. It's nice if it stays dry. All right, we got it out of the way, right? Okay, so some other very important essentials. Long-nosed forceps, these. Why do you need these? Because the pike has quite very sharp teeth, and your lures have very sharp hooks, or at least they should have. And when you're unhooking the pike, you just want to go with this one into his mouth or behind the gills to release him and unhook him. So you don't want to get your hand in it. So make sure you got one of these. It's really important. Speaking of lures, let's just get that one out of the way too. Get your box of lures. Don't leave the house without them. Don't think you'll be able to fish anything without lures. Get yourself a variety of lures, something that goes in different depths, you know, shallow, deep, unless you know exactly where you're fishing. Get yourself a bunch of colors, you know, so if you're gonna spend a few hours on the bank, you can have a variety of lures. And that's it about lures for today. We can make another video about lures if you want. Another essential, polarized sunglasses. Never leave the house without them. First of all, you'll be able to trace the fish in the water because it definitely improves your vision. Do some reading about it. Secondly, if it's sunny, it's gonna save you all the headache in the world. And third, you look cool. You look super cool, right? Like an angler. Take them. Next, scissors. You're gonna have to cut line, you're gonna have to cut leaders, all kind of stuff, or even better, or also take with you if you can, nail cutter. Just helps you to cut right into those tags, you know, you don't have to stretch the line with the scissors. I use these a lot. It's really, really handy. Speaking of leader, don't forget to take yourself some leader material, assuming that you're making your own leaders. So, you know, leaders tend to wear out, they get broken, you can get snagged, you can lose the leader. You can make some when you're on the bank. And other than that, what I'm also taking is some pre-made leaders. You know, if it's windy or, you know, it's cold and don't feel like creating a leader on the bank or in the boat, I just got some pre-made ones. These ones are from Spro and I like them. So get yourself a few of those together with the material for the leader. Next in line, super important, if it's applicable for you, your fishing permit. I live in Holland, so I need to have one. And otherwise you get a nice big fat fine. So make sure you take it with you. Lastly, almost lastly, is first aid toolkit, which is essential when you're fishing for pike. Even the most experienced anglers at a certain point will get cut. Even, I don't know, could be a hook, could be a tooth of a pike, could be the gill plate, which is also sharp. Have some plasters, have some bandages. You don't want to be bleeding all over your clothes and the rod and in the boat, because if the pike gets you, they have this bacteria which makes your blood thin and you'll just keep on bleeding for a while. So get one of those. And last one in the list of essentials is a net. And it's got to be a good old big net. Make sure it's big enough. And I also recommend you to have a rubber mesh. And the reason is that it's just going to help you unhooking the pike much quicker. If they start thrashing around in the net and the hooks get tangled, it's just going to help you. Any other net, you know, it's going to be a bit of a headache. Now, if you experience enough to get the pike with the chin grip and just unhook him like that with the forceps, be my guest. I like to net them because it makes things easier. Okay, that's it for the absolute essentials, must have, don't leave the house without. Don't worry about all these things. I'm going to make a list in the description, so you're going to get all the stuff in detail, so don't need to take notes if you do. We're moving to the nice to have. And I'm going to start with something that some of you may say, no, it's a must have. Well, I doubt it. That's an unhooking mat. This one's for perch. The pike typically will be a much bigger one. Now, why is it not essential? Because I unhook most of my fish when they're still in the net. So I don't use much the landing mat. What I do is I just unhook them in the mat, or I just chin grip them, unhook them, take a photo, release them back. But if you're unexperienced, or you know, for whatever reason you feel like you should take one, please just do. It's just a little bit too big for me to take in my bag. Some more nice things to have. Let's go real quick on these ones. A GoPro or a phone if you want to take a photo of your fish or film it. A power bank can be always handy, because these things, they just run off batteries real quick. Some sterilizer after you touch the fish and you want to clean your hands. Another handy tip for me is, I collect those from all kind of burger joints, KFC, whatever, those, napkins. You can just clean your hands with those. I like to take a ruler with me to measure the fish. So I've got this one, which is, it's not the most comfortable. So instead, you could also use this measure tape. Just get it in a hardware store, like kind of a one-time thing. Make sure you don't catch a fish which is longer than 1 meter, because that's not going to be enough for you. And other things that are nice to have is a hook sharpener. You can just make sure that your hooks are super sharp. A mosquito repellent, almost a must-have. I got one of those, which I used to use. This is actually a fish finder, but I use it. It's a cheap portable fish finder, and I use it for. With this, I would be able to know the depth and the temperature of the water, which can be quite handy. Sometimes I take it. Most of the time, I just attach it to the boat and I carry it behind me. You don't really need it, but nice to have. GoPro strap, if you're already gonna take your GoPro, if it's winter, take one of these. Hot bottle, it's perfect. Keep your hands warm, right? And a cap. Lastly, in the list of nice to have, for me it's a nice to have, for some it might be a must have, wire cutters. Main reason for those is if, God forbid, you get unhooked, if you get hooked, it'll be easy for you to cut the hook with this one. So it's kind of a safety thing. I'm a very careful angler. I'm really trying never to get hooked with my hooks. Thanks God it never happened. I don't carry those with me, but it's sitting on the fence between the must have and nice to have. And these are all the things that are a must have and a nice to have. And there are a couple of things that you should never take. Don't ask me why I have this one. I bought it ages ago when I was new to fishing. This is a boga gripper, or a lip gripper, if you will. And it's a horrible thing, and you should never use it. Just learn how to handle a pike, because this is a total damage for the pike. And besides that, here's a golden tip. Don't take with you friends or people who don't like fishing. It's just not gonna work. They're just gonna get really frustrated after 10 minutes that you don't catch a fish, and they just want to do something else. So, you know, up to you. I tried it a couple of times, doesn't work out. So what do you know? That's it. These are all the essential and the not essential stuff that you need to take when you're pike fishing. And I think we nailed it in probably less than 10 minutes, at least I hope so. So guys, I hope you like it. And I'd like to hear from you. Leave me a comment with anything that you think that I overlooked or anything that you're taking that I didn't mention. Will be super interesting for me to know. And that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something from it. And please subscribe for more and let me know what you think. Bye for now. Thanks.